Right, we're joined tonight by Wiltshire's very own Acts of Brutality. How are you guys doing?
Very good, thank you.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Good.
It's been a while since we seen you perform. One of them was obviously at the Riffs, part of the Metal to the Masses competition, and we've been trying to think where the other one was, and for the likes of us, we can't think now.
I think it may have been in Bristol, but I don't think it was at the Fleece.
Yeah.
I think it was in Bristol. I think.
Yeah.
I think so.
We've played a lot of Bristol.
But don't hold me to that.
So what have you guys been up to in the last year or so?
It's recording, really.
Yeah, recently we've been recording a
Writing
lot,
and-
but yeah, writing some new stuff.
And getting it recorded down to like put on the internet, of course.
Yeah, we've got a new EP release. We've got a new recording coming out that we're gonna on the Hit Parade. We're gonna put it on that, and we've got a new release coming out. We've been working on that, and that's been I don't know if we've got a video out of our studio diary, and it's you can make your own mind up whether it's productive or not. The video really doesn't make us look like a working band at all. But
The only recording of us actually recording is of the bass, and it's about 4 seconds of it.
And then you say you mess up.
And I mess up because
Never
they're
mind.
just making loads of noise and trying to throw me off. So that's
check it out. It's on our YouTube page. So
It's quite amazing we actually got anything done, really.
It took me like, what was it, 68 takes to do one part?
4 million billion takes.
According to the track, it was 14,900.
You actually got to sing.
According to the track.
You got to 60 takes, I think, on that
think
one.
It was
60,
68 because I wanted to go to 69, but I got
yeah,
it
I
right.
remember that.
You got it right. Yeah, you got it right.
No!
The luck of the draw.
What have I done?
So can we expect any excellent titles for your songs like on your last release? Like All Unintended Children will be
Salt to the Sun.
yeah. Actually trying to say that live on air, you'd be surprised how many times I've screwed that bit up.
That's why we just call it All Unintended.
Yeah, I have to say that live.
Well, are we
otherwise there's
still
too
calling
much
that song
vocabulary.
Misdirectomy?
A lot of our songs we don't the name doesn't come along for a while. I think we got one at the moment which is called Misdirectomy, which is Urban Dictionary. I'll let you do that yourself.
It may turn into Misdirected or who knows. It's around it. But then we've got one called Ground and
Get Down in the Ground.
It was called Get Down in the Ground originally, but now it's kind of Ground and Pound and Down in the Ground.
We've just made so many jokes about it and stuff.
I think at the end we're probably going to call that. We've been thinking of the name probably. Was it Through the Breach?
Through the Breach.
Completely different.
Let's steer away from the original.
Let's take this seriously.
Let's call it something that sounds really cool.
Well, we've got
and has nothing
Matriarch,
to do-
which is a more serious
Yeah,
track.
we've
Yeah.
got like the equivalent to All Unintended Children on this EP.
Yeah.
Matriarch.
And then we've
That's
got
cool, yeah.
we kind of rewrote and revamped one of our really old songs before I
The
was
first
even
song
in the
we did,
band.
yeah.
First song.
Insane.
That's
Sounds
crazy.
completely different.
It sounds awesome.
That was before
But-
you and me were in the band.
Yeah.
That was the first song you wrote.
Yeah,
we
it was
changed
terrible.
It wasn't terrible. It just kind of maybe sounded like another song a little bit.
It was like, this sounds like another song. We'll stop dead here. I like this riff. We'll put that in.
Yeah, it
Stop
was just a
dead,
whole
yeah.
load of
That
different
was
riffs.
It
one
was like
after
the
other.
first like band stuff I really did though. So I was like, I just want to play everything that I can play well. So I just chuck it in one song. But we sorted that out. So
Yeah.
Excellent. So how long have you guys actually been Acts of Brutality?
Oh, Acts of Brutality.
September before last.
When's Kevin's like? Oh, we've been actually.
No, that was Northern Lights
It's
then.
when-
That was Northern
when
Lights,
Jazz
yeah.
When Jazz joined,
which
we've been.
was
September before last.
September last year.
Before last.
So almost
Yeah.
3 years.
The majority of us were together a couple of years before that, and then we got Jazz in to play bass because our main bassist left.
Yeah.
Because he didn't think he could keep up with the rest of us, which is a nice way of him saying, "I don't want to do this anymore." So we got one of our mates just to stand in. We got one of our mates just to stand in and just like play bass for us. But then we thought like, if we're gonna do this, we need to get like everyone who's the best at what they can do.
Yeah.
And we're just like, oh,
So
okay.
they
So we
chose
we looked through the list of people and we kind of finally settled on someone who might be alright.
Someone in the same wavelength as the rest of us.
So then I went out and bought a bass.
Yeah, and had to learn bass.
Which you have done well.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's done alright.
You've definitely done your part.
This is the nicest they've ever been.
That's just where
the
I'm
camera's on.
I think it's
Nobody does this stuff.
So obviously you guys are really young as well. So as the style which you play, like the brutal genre, has always been a massive influence of you, or have you had different sort of style influences?
We've all had different influences, most definitely. I'm quite into the really heavy stuff, so as you can see, well, like, I'm the vocalist, so like, yeah. But the other boys, like, Jake wasn't really into metal when we first like got him into the band and asked him whether he was interested and stuff like that, and then sort of, well, I don't know, I guess you've sort of come over to it now.
I did.
Yeah, exactly. But
Kicking and screaming.
Dragged him over.
I guess I can write some songs.
Yeah.
Is
If
this
you
good
guys
enough?
need me, I'll do it for you as a favour.
And I kind of I was halfway. I was kind of into heavy stuff, but it wasn't.
We were just
It was,
getting into it.
and like
really.
I think it was mainly Dave that kind of went, no, this is heavy, and I went, oh my god.
I hadn't listened to anything heavy until I joined the band. Like I hadn't listened to anything properly heavy until I joined the band.
Again, I didn't talk about him. But
Yeah, exactly. So it's and
He's Satan.
But then in the last kind of 6 months, Paddy and I have been getting into Paddy, I and Jake have been getting into, particularly us three, a lot more progressive kind of stuff, and been interested in trying to bring more riffs or odd time signatures and syncopation and this kind of weird feeling to certain things, and that's kind of slowly spreading out to Dave and Stu.
yeah,
So Dave's adding some more weird kind of timings to his vocals, and Stu's writing some, like, there's a really cool riff in Get Back in the Ground, that the first riff,
yeah.
and it took us ages to, it feels like it's in this different time signature, but it's all in 4/4.
What it was is we always, when we write a song, we always try to make it completely different to the previous one, or like ones before that. We always try to bring something new each time. So when you listen to the band, it's like, oh, that is actually Brutality, but it's not the same song over and over again. And we hadn't done a song that like had kind of a swinging feel, like. So we thought, I thought, well, I'm going to sort that out. Like, we need something to just bob your head to.
I think because we were stuck on what to, because we hate the whole being, oh, we're this genre, we're this subgenre or something. So we wanted to obviously put it as our description, like we're this kind of thing, so we could put ourselves out to maybe that kind of audience or whatever. And we spent ages trying to figure out what we actually are, and I think.
Argued.
Lots of arguments, and we kind of agreed that alternative metal seemed to be the best thing, because when you actually look at the description for alternative metal, it's basically playing anything. And we were like, that's pretty much it, just playing whatever. Just cut like a blanket over everything we've done. Yeah, that'll do.
Even on stage, you guys are quite visual as well, because you can't keep still.
Oh, yeah.
You're either on the stage, to the side stage, or you come down into the crowd, which is really, really good. But it gives you a point of being able to command a crowd as well.
No, I love that feeling.
He likes playing God.
I like playing.
Bow down to me, everyone.
I like that. No, it took me a while. Like, I didn't get it straight away. It did take me a while to build up that confidence. But after we played, so I don't even know how many gigs we played now. Like, I don't know, is it 40 odd?
Definitely over 9.
Definitely.
Definitely
We
a
played
few.
a lot of gigs, so it did take me a while to get sort of. All of us were sort of were at band practice talking to each other like, we need to get this movement down. We need to get it there. And we broke through that barrier after a while, because it's just like you want to sort of, you're a bit sort of scared. You want to just stay stiff.
Yeah.
Like, I want to play with stuff. I want to get it right.
I remember we before the band even started, when we were talking about it, and we went to a gig at Jack's, was it? And like another band.
Yeah.
Were like playing, and their vocalist didn't turn up because he was doing something or ill or something, and they needed someone to go on to sing a song that you knew.
Yeah.
And at that time you were like, oh, I should have, but I didn't, and then you really regretted.
Yeah, I regretted
and then
that
we
a
got
lot
like the
'cause I
first
got
band
asked to
practice down, and you proper went for it. So
Yeah.
that's what I've been waiting for, Dave.
Well, I remember the gig at the White Hart, that Christmas gig, and when we did, it was packed.
That was
And I think it was like the winter that I'd just joined, so it was like it was like my second gig in the band.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we were in a packed room, and we did Eyeless at the end, the cover.
You'd been to see us though there before.
Oh yeah, no, I saw you guys at the White Hart before, and it was packed, and then it was packed when I played with them, and we got Lee Butler in to like kind of split the vocals with Dave because it's
So fast.
it's not really fully screamed in any of the originals, and Dave can't keep up sometimes because it's just so many vocals.
And we always do it at the end.
so
of the set.
fast.
Because we just go straight in from our last song, and it's just like, may as well just go all out, just go for broke, really.
We got like one of them on. We had like the 2 monitors either side, and then we had like Dave on one of them and Lee, the other vocalist, stood on the other. And then I obviously thought, oh, there's a gap there. I'll stand right at the front.
It was amazing.
And when we say it was
I'll kick that keg over to you. And you're
Yeah. So we were once playing a gig in Corsham, and it was my like one solo in the set, which I worked very hard on. And just before like I played it, he slid a crate over so I could put my foot on top of like proper go for it as well. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that gig was packed. The White Hart gig was really
White Hart
packed.
gigs are good.
Like,
do some more
Jam packed, you couldn't move in there.
Those are the
Yeah.
better.
And I don't know if you've been to the
falling
White...
into it.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
constantly.
When those are the better gigs. I prefer those to the ones
Small
where you're on
rooms,
stage.
tight audience.
Tight rooms,
Yeah.
most
No
definitely.
stage, like
People who actually
when you're
stayed
on
to
their
listen
level.
to it.
yeah.
You know,
It's
that-
almost a
that
better
actually-
like atmosphere to be almost in the same area as the crowd, because you almost get that same vibe. It's almost like being at your own gig.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're going to watch yourself play. It's,
And
I like
there's almost a really pretentious feeling when you're not a very well known band and you're up on a stage, like especially at the Fleece. We headlined one gig last year at the Fleece, or it might have been early this year. I can't even remember. And it was empty by the time we got up there.
Yeah, before we
And-
even start playing.
And I mean, in Bristol, we're pretty unknown. We're getting there, but like, if I didn't like the band or I didn't think they were worth anything, I mean, it's kind of difficult to take a band seriously when they're up at a venue like that, you know, up on like a 4.5 foot stage compared to everyone else. But then we played a gig at the Griffin the other week, and that's just like a room this size.
Yeah.
that was yeah.
It was tiny.
And that's got no stage in it, and so it's different. But I think we all prefer the smaller, on the level.
But give us
kind
big
of
gigs.
things.
Give us big gigs.
Hey, we'll play anything.
Yeah, we'll play bar mitzvahs,
Yeah.
weddings, funerals.
You guys
Funerals.
have probably loved the Underworld in London.
We did
Yeah,
I've been there a few
a
times.
while
It's
ago.
really good.
Me and Dave sent off our really terribly recorded song, which we got a friend from college to record.
No
When he gave
names.
it back to us, it was so bad. He like basically took all of our riffs and just arranged them to write his own song.
And
then
changed
he
my
showed us
entire
it,
drumming, done
and
his
we
own
were like,
drumming for it.
That's not. Yeah, he did his own drumming for it. Did his own guitar parts for it. And we're like, that's not our song. It's like a rip off of our song. And we sent that to like the Underworld, don't we? And haven't heard back because it's
No, it was
That was
Right.
2.5, 3 years ago.
yeah, and it was so bad, the recording. It was just
We want that now. We've got the proper recording now.
yeah.
Yeah,
So we
that's
should
right.
probably do that.
Yeah,
We
most
should
definitely.
probably do it again, actually. Yeah.
we
Wait
wait
till
to
it
our
gets to
recordings and then send all of them
Mm.
because like the stuff we're doing now is like far more. It's not better. It's all
It
good.
is.
I think it's better. I think our first, like our EP, like the first thing we did, our
Getting into
release,
it.
was good. Like I thought that was awesome
Mm.
because everyone, it was obviously different to what other stuff people were hearing, but every track was different.
Yeah.
And this time we've done the same thing. We've taken the same idea, but we've just kind of
We've
upgraded
fused
everything.
it together so
Yeah.
much better. It's so much tighter.
Everything's
and
tighter.
yeah.
Everything's just got more power behind it. Especially like the whether it's going to be the end track, I don't know, or whatever. The Matriarch is just it. There's so much power behind that track. It's,
And the guy that records and produces with us, he's gotten a lot better as well because it's been
Yeah.
like a year and a half since we recorded the other stuff.
Guy
and so-
Britton, yeah.
Yeah, everyone's gotten better.
Shout out.
No, word
Shout out to Guy Britton.
No, he does good. So yeah.
Excellent. But it's good as well because we were taken back by your first EP, and obviously we got the first EP after seeing you perform live for the first time. So we're really looking forward to hearing the new material, see where you've escalated that.
Oh, most definitely.
I think we definitely have escalated.
There's a lot of hype.
The best thing about this one was we didn't really have a time limit on this one. We've like when we've recorded them, we've also sat down and added loads of extra little bits.
Yeah.
And we've got like a sitar in one of them.
Yeah.
In the beginning, yeah. A really bad keyboard sitar effect, which I think we might
Probably change.
redo at the very end and just
Change
sit
that
down for
something,
like 10 minutes.
Sort out
Because
properly,
we literally were just like, a sitar would sound cool, and Guy just pulled up like, in 10 seconds he pulled up the sitar sound on the keyboard. And I
It's
just
like Casio
and I just,
keyboard.
and I just like faded the sitar in at the beginning, and it's been there for like 2 months now. And so
But
I
it's
think
an idea of what we
I
want.
think we might
like-
just spend like 5 minutes on it next time and actually get it right.
There's some cool stuff done to your vocals as well.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
messed
yeah.
around with that as well.
I wanted to do some stuff like that last time.
There's a
but-
little sample of it at the end of the studio diary, so check that out.
Yes.
Yeah, and the solos, the guitar solos
Oh,
sound
yeah.
brilliant.
Monstrous.
every single solo is just perfect.
I mean, we got the chilled out solos and we got the full on crazy.
In your
stuff.
face.
And all the
Face
little
melting.
extra bits.
I had
Like
to-
that
yeah.
bit at the end of Ground and Pound. that
That's
you
a really
did.
cool solo. I quite
Yeah.
like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
I think the other good thing as well, which is really refreshing to hear, is you guys are not afraid to venture outside of your hometown. You'll go to Bristol and you'll go to other places where no one's actually even heard of you. Some bands would just stick to their hometowns or their home
We never
areas
play a gig
until
in
they.
our own
Yeah,
town.
there's
Yeah.
That's
we
the
had
problem.
one venue there, it was like St Paul's Hall, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And
St.
someone
Paul's.
in a
Is that
mosh
still
pit-
there? Is it?
Yeah.
Still there. They didn't let us play gigs because I think
They've got
someone,
banned
like,
from playing gigs there.
got their ear stretcher pulled out and bled everywhere. And
Someone
they were
got
like-
someone got punched and knocked out
someone
on
got
those
punched
gigs.
on-
Yeah.
And was it Dean who broke his arm on Khalil's back? He fell
Yeah.
off his back
Yeah.
and broke his arm.
Yeah.
Simon broke his nose. So we didn't
Shout out
play-
to the
We broke
broken
too many
people.
things.
Brutal. We don't really play gigs
In a
there
religious
anymore.
complex.
But we've kind of been like, it's not like the bands, but we've been stuck in this scene of people who don't want to venture out, and they've kind of. It's all been like I don't know. It's been too close for us. We're one of those bands that really needs to just. Whether it doesn't really matter if anyone knows of us. Like you guys found out of us because we just went and played some random Riffs Bar gig, and you were like, oh wow. Actually,
Yeah.
there's some talent in Chippenham, maybe. You know?
Yeah.
They got some
Not
hope.
much. Yeah, that's cool. As musicians, when did you actually start learning to play the guitar, learning to sing? Were you also gifted, or did you just
What way should we go round?
Let's go that way. Let's go that way. Let's go that way.
If you've
I'll
got
start with Dave.
Well,
okay.
me and
so
Stu
we-
were walking down the street and we were
This
listening
is when
to.
we
I
met,
believe we were
wasn't
listening to "Walk" by Pantera.
Yeah, I was grounded for like 6 months. And then
Aw.
I came up to meet up with my friends, and Dave was there all of a sudden. I never seen him. Well, I seen him about, but I never talked to him. And then we got drunk and became friends. And now you
As you
can
do.
carry on that story.
I thought it was
Yeah,
starting
so we
on
were
the
walking
side.
down the street. It's just like, we'll start a band. It was like, well, I could do, but I don't know what I'm going to do because I don't play bass, don't play guitar or anything like that. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. So you can do vocals. It's like, yeah,
No.
I was like, well, okay then. All right, well, I'll give that a go. So we ended up playing in my mate's garage. It was quite a good sized garage. So we were quite happy with that and everything. We had
Jamie
drum
Morrissey.
kit, Yeah,
Pizza,
Jamie
we got
Morrissey,
pizza as
good
well,
man, good
Yeah.
man. And started doing that. It took me a long time to sort of get to my sort of range now. It's like these boys have seen me go from pretty much just
He's definitely
in
improved,
over the years
insanely,
and stuff like
yeah.
that. But yeah, I don't know. This is just practice, I suppose. It's just like playing gigs and stuff like that. I didn't really learn beforehand. I sort of learned on the job sort of thing.
Cool.
So yeah, apart from these boys have been doing it for quite a while and been into it. And I was just screaming
Jake
in my room.
I kind of started. I've always been around drum kits because my uncle's a drummer and I've just been stuck on drum kits since before I can even remember. I've got videos of me at 3 sat on a drum kit playing, just hitting stuff. And then the earliest memory I have is me playing along to Sweet when I was about 6 or something like that, just tapping out a rhythm, and I never stopped really. It's quite sad. it's almost an addiction. It's terrible.
I'd say in the last
Like
2
lap
years though,
balls.
you've made the most improvement.
I probably
I met him at college 3 years ago, and he was the best drummer I'd met in person at the time.
Sorry, Jazz, before we go around that way.
Oh no, I'm talking about Paddy. So, but yeah, in the last 3 years, it's just yeah.
I've felt it myself as well. I've kind of everything's become a lot easier. All the stuff's become easier to do. But
Yeah, I was a bit of a late starter compared to what when most people say a guitarist in a band, they'll say, I've been playing classical guitar since I was 4 or 5, but I didn't start playing until I was about 16, something like that. Oh, you're so funny. And no, I was just listening to some Van Halen, and I was like, I wish I could play guitar like that. And I just found this guitar in my house, and my friend had given to me, and I just tried to learn Eruption, which clearly did not go very well.
Wow!
The first thing I tried to play when I picked up a guitar, and then when I got to college, I did my college interview thing, and it was just basic chords. And he said, "Do you know any scales?" And then, I know the standard E scale, I suppose. But then I just thought I really need to step up my game if I'm going to be going to college. So I just spent the whole summer, like 6 weeks, sat there with a guitar, and then Stu discovered me, and that's what happened. Yeah.
You Jazz?
Well, I've already spoken loads.
Now you're asked to speak. So
Yes. In a couple weeks, it'll be 9 years. I started off as a guitar player, and I was terrible at it. But I really wanted to learn it, and then I stopped for a while and played drums, and then I came back to guitar and I liked it a bit more then, and then I started learning bass like a couple years before I started college. So I had a tiny bit of, like, I had a bass. That was really all when I say I started playing bass. But I've always been a guitarist, and I think it's only been recently that I've tried to make my bass playing in particular better.
That's why we got him as a bassist anyway, because I knew him at college more than some of the other guys did. But I knew his theory was solid for guitar. So I thought, if he's gonna, and he could learn songs really quickly. So I thought if we get him in on bass, it would be just piss easy, really. You know what I mean? Just picks up a bass and then he's learning the songs within a few months. So.
Yeah, you got quick. You really did.
And the fact that I now have a car makes me perfect bassist.
He could stop playing bass and we'd still probably keep him in the band.
Exactly. Exactly.
He doesn't really play. I see.
I barely even play live. I'm just like,
gigs, and he's just moshing with the crowd and plays like
Standing on a bar.
Yes, that's the last gig he was on a bar, just like throwing down. Stu?
Yeah. When I was about 14, my neighbour had his dad was like a bassist in a band and gave him his old bass, and I had a really bad Argos acoustic for like £20 in my house. So he was like, "Oh, you should play guitar," and I was like, "I don't even know what I'm doing." So I looked in a book. I saw like the G major chord. And I was like, "Right, I'm done." So I just played a G major chord, and then I quite enjoyed just playing that one chord. And then I got home and my uncle was there and he played guitar and he taught me the Alton Towers theme tune. And from there on,
it all makes sense now.
From there on, I just thought I should probably start playing good music. And
The Alton Towers theme tune isn't good.
It's not when I play it. That was the first thing I learned. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, right, this is this, and I was just like, I thought I was had to choose between two subjects at school, and I chose music. So I was like, I think I might be able to get quite good at this. So,
Maybe.
yeah,
Give it a bash.
Better than
See what
acting or
happens.
drawing. So
I don't know, man. Your drawings are pretty insane.
Your
I
drawings
wish we'd have brought some with us because
Yeah.
those are insane.
Well,
I think I've still got the pictures on my
I've got a
phone. as
picture
well.
of a
Whacking
fish.
out the folder.
I think I've got a picture of a fish on me.
That's not a fish. Show it over, bring it over to the camera, take it over, go.
Take that.
Extreme
I've got-
close up.
That's awful.
Actually, whoa!
It's the actual brutality fish.
Actually, brutality fish. That's our logo.
So
That's the most tame.
That's the next
That's
logo,
the tamest drawing he
and
has.
that
It is.
is why I play guitar instead of drawing.
He does some amazing drawings, but that's another story.
Yeah.
It's not why we're here, guys.
It's not why we're here.
I'm flattered, honestly, but
Well, there you go. You mentioned the Alton Towers gig. That'll throw some of your fans off. Halfway through your set, just thrash out the Alton Towers gig,
yeah,
and then just come back in.
We play quite a few random stuff. Happy birthday. Yeah, happy
birthday.
birthday.
What we did was we did the main melody, and then just before the "Happy birthday to you," he said it for 5 minutes, and I just stood there just watching him, and then just
Most of us are just sat on the floor.
I put the mic down. I walked off.
grab a pint, come back,
Yeah.
and nod at me, and we're both just humming.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was awesome. Centre Parks was fun as well.
We had a kind of, I don't know, we've not really, we kind of do covers, but we don't do covers. We had a thing where every few gigs we change our cover. So we started off with Holy Diver, which we loved it. It was kind of the Kill Switch version.
We already knew that from college.
Yeah,
We
you
changed
guys
them
learned
before.
it.
It's a good option just to do something most of us already know to save time.
Yeah.
It's our first gig before Jazz was in the band.
Mm.
We had 2 weeks to write 4 songs. So
Yeah.
we'll write 2 songs and do a cover. And
Started our set with reggae as well.
Yeah.
We were all too nervous, so we just played the set with reggae.
And then by the time I joined the band, you guys were doing
Eyeless.
Eyeless. And so I learnt Eyeless as just part of the set.
That was the Bring Me style as well.
and
wasn't
we
it?
still the really fast one, and we still play that. now and then. Actually, we play that more than anything because
Yeah,
the one after that we learnt Born of Osiris song. What was it called?
Follow the Signs.
Follow the Signs, and that was quite progressive and technical.
That took us a while.
But that was always fun to play. But we only did like 3 or 4 gigs with it.
We kind of always did it at Fleece.
Yeah.
Fleece, we opened. We
did
finished
that.
the set with Born of Osiris or whatever.
Our cover is whatever Paddy decides at the end of the set, because we all think we're done. We do our like massive epic, like yes, we are awesome. Like,
Even if we don't have any more time, normally just go down.
And we're just like, do we play or do we not? Oh,
it was like the Griffin was the last gig we did,
Yeah.
and one of the other bands, no names, not going to mention, but we were quite cheesed off because they kind of overran their set. So we were like, well, do you know what? We're going to overrun our set because we should have had a much longer time slot.
Sweat streaming down my face.
we just finished unattended, so I was like, right, that's it, straight into Eyeless, and then we did about 4 breakdowns that progressively got slower and slower and slower.
Stu got a bit upset in the song before.
Upset? You mean angry? I'm a bloke.
Yeah.
He had a bit of respect to differ, but seriously, man.
A bit of an issue, and so we got to the very end, and we just slow down more and more at the end of this cover, and we did like 3 slow stops and then slower, and then we got to the fourth one. We don't do a 4th one, and Stu just took his guitar off and put it down, and Paddy started a 4th slower breakdown.
I was packing up faster than they were playing,
and we all started just like going
cigar.
even slower and louder, and Stu's just there like, no, I'm getting my guitar back in its bag, my amps are.
I think possibly the audience felt the same. No, too slow, too much, just too much.
What are you doing? What I want.
So what amplifiers do you use?
Right. Jake, you want to get us right?
Oh, drum kits.
Advertising everything he uses.
Marshall. No,
Gibson.
I use my amp. I use a Black Star HT Stage 100 head. Yes, I'll.
Numbers.
No, give me free stuff. But I use that, but I would use a different model of Black Star. I just use it because it's cheap-ish. It's about 800 quid, give or take. But for recording, I use my Line 6 amp because it's just got a better sound than my Black Star for recording. So yeah.
I use like a PV 2x10 cab and some PV 100 watt solid state head. It's like a stock head that like fits into a rack and everything, and you're meant to have like 4 of them to actually power like a full like 4x12 stack or something. I have no idea at all because I needed a good setup for the band when I joined, and so me and my dad kind of just went out and were like, that's loud, so we'll get that, and it's solid state, so I can like drive it as hard as I want and not have to worry about like the valves cutting out. So yeah.
Cool.
I used to use a Fender like amp because that I bought that off my mate quite cheap, and at the time I was kind of like, I just need an amp loud enough to play gigs and then like works around it. But then once we got Jake in, he was using this Line 6, and there's so many more options on it. Plus you couldn't turn my amp above 1 or it would be too loud, like in the biggest venue. If you turn it above 1, so I was like, I ended up buying a Line 6 like 150 watt with dual speakers, and I've stuck with that for now. I want to get a bigger amp, but it's money. So we'll sort that out later.
We talk about just gear in general as well.
Well, the reason why I said about the amps is if you could be endorsed by anyone,
Right.
Okay.
who would you like to be endorsed by?
Ibanez
Fender.
or Fender.
No, I'd rather.
I was quite
Very
like
terrible.
I like the Mesa Boogie.
I would love to be endorsed by Orange. Anything Orange. Definitely.
Snoop Dogg. I'm serious. No. It would be
No, so there you go. Any of the guys out there are watching this,
Please.
Don't forget about the drums.
Snoop
I
Dogg.
need so much equipment. I have no money. I need lots of new
Stag.
stuff.
Just send loads of stag.
Just send me anything. Just send me anything that works as a drum kit. Jesus.
Orange. You're based in the UK. Send me stuff.
So, being serious though, I think if I was to, like my dream company, I think I would go for like kit wise.
Yeah.
Would have to be probably a Mapex. Mapex seem to make really solid kits, so like Premier, even though they're like known for jazz stuff, they're pretty solid. And cymbal wise, anything that is good, literally anything that doesn't break, just give it all to me. All the sticks that don't break. Oh jeez, break so many sticks.
There's no such thing with you.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Did you break like a bass drum and a snare? And
I broke 2 snares.
One,
I broke
like,
my
in
snare. I
one-
broke someone else's snare that I borrowed because I broke my snare. I broke my bass drum. I've broken
You've broken my pedals.
I've
tons.
broken all of your drum cymbals.
Yeah.
I'm not a bad player. I'm okay. I'm okay.
No, you're a
really
good
hard.
player, but you've just got terrible technique in the sense that you just.
I've got good technique when I'm not going for it. Like when I'm
Yeah,
drumming normally.
But when you're
at gigs, I just
when you're playing well, you've got terrible technique because you're just going for it so much.
Yeah.
That's the point. But
I'll get better if you send me better stuff, please.
I've never known. I haven't met a drummer yet who hasn't gone through a gig where they haven't cracked or completely destroyed cymbals or skin on the snare,
I don't
or
think
even broken the double bass pedal. as well.
I don't think I've actually broken something at a gig. It's usually
you
a
broke that metal stick
Sticks
on.
Yeah.
You broke that metal stick on like within 5 seconds of
Before we
doing that
started.
first
Before
fill.
we started.
I warmed
Yeah.
up and broke those Joey
He
Jordison
walked-
head things.
We were all setting up, and he got behind the kit, and he just set his cymbals up, and he went like bat 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 bat, and like he just snapped a metal Joey Jordison.
But I've never broken like gear, like actual drum equipment at gigs. It's only practice. We used to do follow the signs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and at the very last bit where there's
yeah.
a solo, and instead of doing it the way they do, they go really half time. It's almost a breakdown. We just go into like almost black metal, and it's like and just like full, like pedals are going full on, and that was the drum breaker. That was like every time it would get halfway through that, it would be about halfway through the solo. My right foot would like slam on the pedal and break the drum skin.
You broke-
I broke
you did
2
terrible.
drum skins doing that.
You broke
2 bass
you
heads.
broke your snare drum doing that,
Yep, snare drum and 2 bass
and then
drum
the
skins.
next week you had Spiller's snare drum, and you broke it on the exact same part.
But I broke pedals, like
Yeah.
skins doing that. Unbelievable. It's a
That's
song.
why we don't
It's a
play that
song.
song.
It's a song, not me.
Which brings me on to a band fantasy question.
Oh dear.
Yeah, exactly. Surprised how many times we get that response.
Turn the cameras off.
A couple of years ago, the Big Four united at Sonosphere and performed.
We were there,
Yeah,
yes.
same as us. We were there.
It was wicked.
You guys are part of the new generation of the Big Four, so you're one of the main headline acts. What other 3 bands would you have on stage with you, and what song would you perform? Now, it could be one of your own, or you could do a cover version, and the location, whereabouts in the
We
world.
going round. We doing this.
Yeah.
Go the other way.
Oh,
Stu
God.
first.
Yeah.
Stu first. 3
I'd
bands.
quite like to play with the Wurs. No. I'd like to see them though.
I've seen him live. though. Wham! Yeah.
Do you want to go with me and my dad? Like, no.
Stu.
I don't know. Like, I quite like a lot of stuff. If we were going to play a song, I'd quite like to play one of our new songs because we haven't like played that at quite a massive venue. And let's face it, once you hear the song recorded, then you recognise it live.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will listen to us and not recognise it, but if they heard it on the CD, they're more likely to know the song and like get into it more. So like once releasing like the EP, I'd like to play one of our own songs. I'd like to play any song that's better than any songs that we play.
What?
But bands, I don't really know what bands I'd like to play with because I wouldn't know what genre or like how we would fit well with other bands because we all bring our own like influence in and try to work around each other, like with the old time signatures and stuff. But I just don't. I can never. I've been thinking about this earlier because I was walking to get food for someone and they asked me like, "What band would you like to play with?" And I was just like, I honestly don't know because I don't know where we would fit with.
What about guitarist?
What
If you
guitarist.
could.
Right. Probably. Sinister
You remember
Gates. So yeah, the first like I'd say Sinister Gates from Avenged Sevenfold because I listened to one of their acoustic songs and that's what got me into metal.
Yeah.
And because then I went out, I was like, "Oh, Dave, look at this," and he was like, "Oh, have you not heard any of their own stuff?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And then that's when metal hit me.
Yeah.
I was just like, "Right,
Like a freight train.
yeah, I need to man cut and just play some like proper heavy music." But I wouldn't know what bands to play with. I don't know who would fit well with because it's so weird some of the stuff we do. Jazz, would you like to take it?
Yeah, I'd like to play with Animals as leaders, Periphery, and throw a wacky one, 12-Foot Ninja. I'll throw them in. So they're pretty cool. 12-Foot Ninja aren't anything like us, but they're just good. But Periphery and Animals as leaders are just absolutely amazing, and I think we're bringing a lot of that style into we're keeping a lot of that kind of.
We're still AOB, but we like that really.
I mean, we're keeping the original
stuff.
Big Four kind of sound that we already had, but we're bringing in stuff to add to that. We're not letting anything else go. We're just adding extra bits in and extra influences in.
That's why it was so hard to decide on the genre.
Yeah, and I
it's
think
just like.
I think those two bands, Periphery and Animals as leaders, have influenced us a lot in the riffs and the solos and the structure and the time signature, just about everything. So as well as all the other stuff. And in terms of songs, I think Matriarch, one of our new ones, just is
no
awesome.
covers.
We wouldn't do a cover, no.
We always play cover to see how, to please the crowd, or just we always make the cover harder than the one before as well, just to test ourselves. So it's all about really that's
it. Just reminded me. Sorry, another thing with our most recent release, we've almost tested ourselves with what we can actually play.
Yeah.
And when we've actually gone to record it, the tempos have all been a little bit faster, and with ground and pounded, whatever it's called. You were struggling at first because the tempo, we'd kicked it up almost in the recording.
But you were drunk when you recorded the vocals, so you were fine.
He was drunk and then he nailed it.
He did it perfectly.
So we've actually challenged ourselves more with this, which I like, because it's almost makes me proud that we do that. Because if we stuck to what we were doing before, we wouldn't learn anything. I guess.
No point not getting better.
Yeah. You with your
the Big Four question. Anyway, get back on track. I think probably I think. Two of the other bands would definitely be Animals as leaders and Machine Head.
Most definitely
Machine
Head. Amazing band.
It's so good.
See Halo live.
The other band, I don't know. I don't even care. Anyone else?
Someone to go before us.
Just a double set. Just a double set of the other bands.
Yeah. But I think Animals and leaders and Machine Head would be really good. And I think doing a Machine Head song with Animals as leaders and with us and with Machine Head. Would sound hench.
It would sound ridiculous.
Like a state of hate or something.
Most definitely.
Yeah, that would be really good. That would be my choice. Venue, I have no idea. Anywhere, it wouldn't matter with Machine Head.
In a field, car park or something.
My garage,
Book them and they will come.
I think for me, band-wise, I'd love to play with Brotherhood of the Lake. I don't know if you guys have ever seen them or anything, but live, Brotherhood of the Lake are ridiculous. They're they're verging on hardcore kind of stuff, but they're more metal as well, and I think we would fit well with them because we kind of almost merge into that genre without being hardcore or anything. We just kind of fit well into it, and the other band probably would be Animals as leaders. Just because we are talking about style-wise, I think we're incorporating lots of different things that please us, and that's one of them. Song would have to be, I couldn't think of another band, but song would have to be Matriarch, I think, and venue. For me, it would either be not the Griffin. The Griffin was great, but not the Griffin.
White Hart.
Louisiana, you love that guy on the desk.
Oh yeah. Just not a small, I don't know, somewhere that people, it's small, compact, but it's full of people, and people die and hurt each other, and just chaos.
Croft Main Stage.
Croft Main Stage, places like that would be awesome. Or where's where we went to saw Roller Tomasi in London?
Oh, the Electro Works.
The Electro Works. I don't know if you've been there. It's part of the Slime Light thing. Really good venue.
Okay, well, bands. Devil Driver, most definitely. So I have Des Vieira, his vocals and all that is amazing. He's I brought up with him and it was so awesome. I would love to play with Sepultura. That would be awesome. not the new Sepultura. I want the old
Yeah.
one, obviously, but that's not going to happen. But you know,
I don't think the
one.
new Sepultura will happen anytime soon.
well, we can hope, we can dream. And for venues, I want to play outside. I want to play a big outside venue because I remember seeing Slipknot for the first time, and they came on stage, and those clouds, and it rained, and it was the best thing ever. Like goosebumps everywhere, 50,000 people all around you, and it's just that's the feat. You can't beat that. And I mean, after being on stage and looking across at that. And I went, I don't even care what song I'm playing. I wouldn't care. I would just be that would be the biggest buzz of my life. I think that would be amazing. That honestly, yeah, that was
Cool. Some interesting answers. Obviously, you've mentioned obviously a couple of times about acoustics, that sort of thing, as well. Now, a couple of years ago, Ectomorph, a German thrash metal band, released a complete acoustic album which no one expected from these guys, and it worked really, really well. If you could pick one of your tracks and take it straight into like an acoustic feel,
I've already
We-
done that. I've done that with one of our tracks, but I don't think it would be that track.
Was that?
I did it with Blood, Sweat,
We
Tears.
don't even play that song anymore, do we?
No, which is a shame because
Shame,
that's
it's
my
really,
favourite
really
song
cool
That was a good
out
song.
of the old songs. I don't
because even you didn't have to play it live, you could just release it.
yeah.
Kind of thing.
I think Insane would be cool because it's got that that weird kind of
Yeah.
there's these weird rhythms in it in
Matriarch
the
would
middle.
be
Which would
nice.
be
Weird,
cool.
yeah, weirdly, Matriarch would actually sound really nice. Acoustic.
We'd have to, we'd have
I
to.
reckon we should, because we're trying to think at the moment for our EP to do a little
Interlude.
acoustic interlude.
Yeah.
That would
In
be, yeah,
between-
actually.
Yeah,
do
in
the
between the end
chorus.
of one song where like is
You do
The
the
chorus is
chorus.
Matriarch,
The
and
chorus
our
and
hench's
acoustic.
song.
it's like 20
and
seconds
then
of
it
it.
goes
Yeah.
like it calms down towards the end.
Yeah.
And then we're thinking like to put maybe like a nice acoustic-y like interlude like a couple of minutes long just before Matriarch starts, which is like the main song of our new release. So we I haven't come up with any ideas yet.
What we could do, and then
What
brainstorm.
could we do?
sorry.
Right. Okay. Let's get this done now. What do we do?
Because the
You heard it here
because
first.
The chorus, only
Yeah.
happens, the chorus only happens once in the song, and you were like saying, you know, the chorus should happen more. Because we could do a clean version of the chorus,
Record it on
Yeah,
actual
me.
acoustic guitars
Yeah.
as well.
and then following your vocal pattern, we could do like a harmonising.
I would love
something
that.
like Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we should still do it like acoustically.
That'd be
like,
really good.
Yeah.
This will be,
Yeah.
Bring in the weep, like
Yeah.
weeping guitars.
I'll bring my acoustic in because my acoustic's really good and we can record it.
Yeah.
like,
I've got
with
my
just a
12
mic.
string back as well, so we could like fill it out a little bit more.
Yeah. Cool.
You heard it here first, that's going to happen, that's it. You filled in the new track for the...
We want to hear it here first.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Definitely.
No, guys. Well, I'd like to thank you so much for taking the time
Thank you very much.
to come
No
to see
problem,
us.
yeah.
We're looking forward to the brand new material.
So we...
so we-
And looking forward to catching you guys tear a stage up somewhere as well. So we'll be keeping an eye on like your Facebook page, seeing where you're playing next.
Acts of Brutality, Facebook, Twitter, everything. Check it
Oh,
out.
yeah,
We're all
family,
across the
YouTube.
internet.
Yeah,
We're everywhere. Every
everywhere,
website you
yeah.
can think of, we're on it. So
Sponsor us.
find us.
And any sponsors, get in touch.
Sweet.
Excellent. Cheers, guys. Nice one.
Thank you very much.
That's right. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Brilliant interview. Nice one.